All right. Well, hey, everybody. We got Nelson, Vila-Santana. So this is a good friend of mine. How many people have ever met someone on a trail and then end up becoming best friends with these people for years on end? So this is me and Nelson's story for sure. I met this dude in Colorado probably a couple months after I first got there. But anyway, welcome, bro. How you doing, Nelson?
Doing great today. Beautiful day here in Colorado. Sun shining, finished snowing. Yeah, that's pretty good.
Awesome, my man. Well, what we're gonna do, let's talk about how the hell I met you, because it's a good story, and we've made a couple other friends along.
But yeah. I think we met down in Colorado Springs. It was one of the first trips I actually went out on in my Land Cruiser after I did a full rebuild on it. So I finished up my 80 series Land Cruiser. And I think I met you on a forum.
Was it on a forum? No, no, I didn't meet you on a forum. I met you there. So we never.
Oh, no, it was another guy there. Yeah, it was another guy there who actually posted on a forum that they're going to do a ride to, I believe it was Chinaman Gulch. Not, no, Chinaman Wall. Chinaman Wall. Yeah, man. Met out there. And I don't think we talked much until everything went
We
sideways
didn't
on
talk
Fifth.
till Fed broke down. So this is kind of the thing that happened here. All right, so we're on this trail. The only reason I knew of this place, I hit up a guy that's on one of the forums before I moved to Colorado and asked him, "Hey, who can I link up with some people to go off roading with?" And connected with like this four-wheeling group. So I'm coming from Denver, meet up all these people down in the Springs, and we're on this trail, and it wasn't nothing big, but we're just going around, touring around, doing our thing, and we're watching everyone go up this one. I guess it's the one obstacle on this bullshit.
The only honest.
The, the only obstacle there. So everyone's going up it. I went up it with my forerunners, no big deal. Nelson, I mean, it was a Land Cruiser, but it was was the GX 450 you had?
Jukes, 450, or sorry, LX 450, which is the old 96
Yeah.
solid X.
This thing
Yep.
was sick, guys. I mean, when you talk about, so if you've got like Forerunner fans, Toyota people, this is like one of the holy grails of these rigs. It's hard as hell to find anything with a solid front axle, and Nelson had a badass rig, and we put it to use because that day, one of the guys was going up a trail. He's gonna see this and talk some shit to us because having this conversation about it, but, he had a Tacoma, nice Tacoma, red, supercharged, had a gearbox in it.
Oh man, that Tacoma actually goes back a level before that I learned later. It was actually from Mexico originally, two-wheel drive, and he had transitioned it over to a four-wheel drive with a twin stick. Oh, who makes those transfer cases? Marlin
Yeah, the
Crawler or
bone
something
crawler.
transfer case. Yeah, and he did the whole thing up, king coils, the whole nine yards.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
looked great, and then the one obstacle there blows his transmission out, or that gear
Yeah.
something.
I was the spline shaft from the transmission to the transfer case. Yeah, it sheared all of the teeth off of it.
Yeah. So, anyway, so now this guy is stuck middle of this trail, almost near the end, and need a tow, and my little Forerunner don't have enough balls to get anyone out of that trail, and
No, no.
Nelson
There was another Land
Rick
Cruiser too.
enough, so he's not, and, you came with your mom.
Yeah, yeah. I brought mom out. Mom was hanging out in Colorado, and I said, "I'm going off roading." She said, "Well, I want to come too." I said, "Okay, sure, let's go." Yeah. So, yeah, I remember my mom was videoing the whole time, and we all heard the loud pop on the back of Federico's Tacoma. That was it.
Yeah,
Game over.
so there that went, so Nelson hooks his ass up to him and drags Fed out of this entire trail, and they had to leave it at the trailhead. What's that?
6 miles.
6 months.
Literally 6 miles from the end of the trail to the start of the trail through the snow.
Oh, 6 miles. Yeah, that was a haul. So, he left his rig at the top of the trailhead, and then there was this little brewery down the road that everyone was meeting up at. So anyway, I'm in there just chilling out, and Nelson comes up to me because I'm the only other guy there from Denver. I think you were staying somewhere else at the time. You haven't moved to like Aurora yet.
I was in, Yeah, I was over at Longmont at that time.
Yeah.
Yep.
So Nelson comes up to me, he's like, "Hey, man, you're from Denver, you mind taking this guy home and dropping him off?" And I'm like, "Yeah, I guess I can."
God, there's no taxi service in where we were.
Yeah, we're like an hour and a half away. I'm like, "Yeah, man, I'll take him back." Fed gets in my rig, I take him up there, drop him off, got his number, and then I got yours somehow out of this, and then you moved down to Aurora. We met up, had some beers, and ever since then, we have literally done almost every trip in Colorado together for, like, the last, what, 3 years I was left there.
Yeah, I mean, the whole time you were here, we've done basically every single trip we've gone out. Give me a call, hey man, let's go. Federico's joined for every single one he could.
Yeah.
He almost got stuck a couple more times. It's always the butt of the joke. He's gonna break down again on another trail, and we're gonna pull him back out.
So, in my phone, I usually label people and how I met you, and Fed's number to this day is still Fed Broke Red Taco. If
He's
this
still in my phone. It's better. Fed broke.
Yeah, he still has that thing too. He's still rocking it, so it's good shit though. But yeah, that's how me and Nelson became friends, and, very handy guy. This dude can build anything, and, one of those people that you want on the trail with you. Because between the both of us, I think we have enough food, junk, and beer, we can get out of anything, and
Yeah.
we have.
Run out of whiskey, someone else has another bottle. It'll be just fine.
What's that?
If I run out of whiskey, I'm sure you got a little bit extra in your car.
Yeah, we got plenty.
Yeah. Yeah.
Uh,
Funny enough, that trip actually ended up expanding into two other friendships that I've actually been able to maintain. Like obviously Federico,
yeah.
so and my buddy Mason actually he was a young spry guy at the time, and ever since then we've always kept in touch. Whenever he's in town, he'll come swing by my house wherever it is, and um, it's amazing how the friendships will just continue for years and years. And I think at this point it's been probably right around 7 years or so that I've known the guy. And actually, my wife and I just went on vacation with him all the way out in the Virgin Islands to see his uh, charter boat business. Actually,
Dude, that looked like a bitchin' trip, man. Looked nice.
yeah, that was a good trip. But it's incredible, man. I mean, we were just joking when we were there that everybody we know has been through off roading.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Most of my closest friends because of that, off-road. So and that's one of the things I always try to highlight with this. It doesn't matter where you off-road at, it's the community and the people you meet along the way that make the difference. And, um, it's super fun, but we have been everywhere since then. And so let me ask you, Nelson, what are the other type of rigs you've had that you've been off-roading with?
Yeah. Actually, I started with stick shift 6-speed Tacoma. And then, funny enough, I actually got a Forerunner, very similar to yours, a little third gen Forerunner.
Yeah.
Thing with tank. I actually got it from a military guy down in San Diego who was going to go off on deployment somewhere in the Midwest, and he actually just upgraded to a 100 series Land Cruiser. And so I got a fully built Forerunner third gen with front rear bumpers, roof rack, the whole 9 yards. Only $500, which
Yeah.
was the rear bumper was worth more than the whole car.
That's back before the market fell out or just exploded and then fell.
Yeah, exploded. Exactly. Exactly. That was right before you couldn't get one for less than like 8 grand. He just happened to I was in the right place at the right time. And then actually I traded that Forerunner for my Land Cruiser, which had it was in horrible shape when I got that thing.
Yeah.
I mean, we're talking ripped seats, duct tape down the side, no exhaust, no catalytic converters. Um, Paint was gone, motor was cooked, everything was wrong about it, but it was the cheapest Land Cruiser I could find. It still had all the parts on it. I actually ended up sending that car down to Tijuana on a kind of a risky little trip there to get it repainted and redone on the interior. And somehow I got it back. Everyone kept telling me I wouldn't. I didn't even have plates on it when I sent it down. I just got the car and just drove it down and dropped it off at a shop for some guys that I didn't even have a phone number for. And
No shit.
about
Do you remember the name of it? We'll probably send some people down there 'cause
oh no, not at all. It was I don't even know if it was a legal shop. I don't think any of the shops I was dealing with were legal, but they just did the work. And I got a phone call 6 weeks. My car was ready. I paid a couple guys a couple $100 and
Hell yeah.
drew it back.
Got it
Yeah,
back. I know a few guys that
got it
do that.
back.
Take the cart down and get them painted, this and that, and hey, man,
Mm-hmm. It took me back then $2,500
nice.
to get the outside welded up and redone, and then I brought it back to the States, and then I did actually immediately drove it when I got back to Colorado or California at that point. I packed everything I owned inside of it and all the way to Colorado.
Hell yeah. So one thing with Nelson, he, left San Diego about the same time I did. So, yeah, we literally followed each other all the way up there. Uh,
Yeah. Yeah.
now, so obviously this is a Glamis podcast. Have you ever been to Glamis?
Glamis? Oh yeah, I've been out to Glamis. Yeah,
Did you do
yeah,
anything
been
out
to
in it,
Utah.
or you just go to it?
We drove through it. I was actually the first road trip I ever took my at that point in time girlfriend, now wife, across the country. It was the first stop we stopped at was Glamis.
No shit.
Yeah, we stopped at that parking lot at the top. It was brand new. They just finished building it. Um, Hopped out, took a few pictures, watched some dirt bikers go flying through the sky, and then we headed out.
Alright, well, hell yeah, man. At least you got to do that. I wasn't sure because 'cause I'm trying to get him out here. Nelson came out and visited not too long ago, but didn't get a chance to take you out to the actual dunes yet. So
Yeah, we gotta
we'll
come
get
on
you
out.
back
Bring a
out
good
there,
bike.
but he's got his hands into everything because you got your adventure bike. What is that? You still got that?
Yeah, no, transitioned to a 300 two-stroke.
Really?
I rode a Tenere 700 around. Went to New Mexico with my buddy Chad. Again, another guy that kind of doing off-roading stuff. Um, and we went down to New Mexico. We did a 5-day trip. Just rode our butts off, man. It was a lot of riding. We ended up having to dip out early to drive back north on our. I was driving a Tenere 700. He was driving the Norden. No, yeah, it was a Norden 901. Very nice bike. We
Really?
drove back out. Yeah, I did a little bit more tripping with that bike, and then sold it off.
So what are you looking at now?
I got the KTM 300 two-stroke trail bike.
Nice.
Yeah, yeah. Little single cylinder, little ripper. It's a good time, man.
Well, hell yeah. So you were still looking to get that, or you've already bought one?
They got one.
Huh.
Got it already. I rode it like 2 seasons ago, and then the end of last season actually had an issue with the power valve, and we had my buddy Kyle, another off-road guy. We pulled it all apart.
Okay. So now it's all
Pulled it
good to go, or
at 90%. I got to get the exhaust back on, and we'll get back out on the trails and have a good time.
okay. So it's funny, like I remember you riding this old dirt bike I had. Did you ever ride anything before that?
No.
No. That's funny. He caught the
Yeah.
bug and he kept riding. I got rid of my stuff. I had that bike
Hmm.
for a short time and got rid of it.
Yeah. Yeah. That was the blue Yamaha
Yeah, it
200.
was a 426. It was yeah.
It was a big bore 450.
No, I mean, it's not a 450. It's kinda like yeah, I guess it is, kinda like what that was beforehand. I mean, it's not like 2001. I tore that thing down,
Hmm. Hmm.
rebuilt it, and it ran. Surprised the hell out of me. First time I ever completely tore down and rebuilt an engine by myself, but it worked out pretty good. Some dude showed up, he hopped on it and was just riding this thing like all hell. I'm like, "I hope he's got money, man." He paid me the money, and I'm like, "Alright, dude."
Yeah.
It's one of those ones where you have the, what is it, the hot choke, and you have to the decompression valve on it.
Yeah, I remember that. I remember you teaching the trick.
Yeah.
Like, make
Most
sure you get top
tedious
dead
bike
center, and then
ever. I could leave that piece of shit anywhere. No one would be able to if you don't know how to start it, you'll never get it started. It'd take you half an hour to kickstart that thing. So,
it's still not getting anywhere.
yeah.
Just push it down the road. Yeah.
Couldn't get rid of that
Yeah,
thing
man.
fast enough, man, but it was a good learning
No, no.
learning curve from me.
Sure. Yeah, so I did. So I went from the Land Cruiser to some Tundra,
Yeah.
and so now I'm back completely out of the off-road game. I was getting 9 miles per gallon driving a Land Cruiser basically everywhere whenever I went anywhere. And then once I got the Tundra, you can't beat the fuel economy of 17 miles per gallon on a V8 Tundra. Uh, but we're getting back to it. We got the GX 460 in the lot, and we'll pick up. I'm looking at another like an older, maybe like a 60 series Land Cruiser to
Really?
build on that. Yeah,
Nice. Going back to the Land Cruiser,
yeah,
huh?
yeah. It's the most reliable, most fun platform. Tons of space. They drive comfy.
You know
Drive
what,
to
though?
ride.
When I look at those, unless you're getting a solid axle, I don't know why you just don't get A Sequoia.
Yeah, that's basically what it is. So with the 60 series, you're going to get a solid axle on that.
Okay.
Just 80. A little bit different on the rear axle. And yeah, and I mean the Sequoias are huge vehicles. If you don't have a solid axle, it's just not worth dealing it though, in my opinion.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's kinda with the
You ride
Toyotas, like, honestly,
that
like, the
whole
4th
Forerunner.
gen 4Runners, if you got a V8 and just solid axle swapped it, that'd be a badass rig.
Expensive,
Yeah, it's expensive.
expensive, man. Yeah, I had a Forerunner. I had a 4th gen Forerunner V8 for about 6 months to keep it, but it just, I mean, those that gas mileage on those is just atrocious. I don't even know how they sold them
Really?
for top. Yeah, I mean, for me, I don't know, maybe it was something wrong with mine, but I was getting like 12 miles per gallon anywhere.
Damn.
Yeah,
Yeah, I mean,
it
I'm
was
getting pretty
horrible.
bad gas mileage with my 4Runner, with it regeared and the 35s on it now.
Yeah. Oh, you got 30 bucks?
Well, 317, so I got 34 and a half.
Yeah,
Close enough.
a big tire.
Yeah,
It's a big
it
tire,
is a
man.
big tire. I put the SBC upper control arms on it, was able to move those forward enough because it doesn't rub now.
Yep,
Able to get
yep.
through that, but I always swore, like, if Toyota would just give us a diesel, um, they would be able to keep him on a lot. Or if you just put a V8 in the Tacoma, I'd go buy one right now. I wouldn't give a shit.
Yeah.
I'd want one.
Just give it a V8 option on everything.
Yeah.
Everything can be an option from Toyota. Even the Prius, put a V8 in it. They'll sell them like crazy.
You know what, man? Like, being overseas, I've seen so many of these old Land Cruisers, and I was like, "Man, if I could just smuggle one of these back, I would have done." I've looked in it so many times trying to just get one of these Land Cruisers over the States, but it's a pain in the ass.
This is 79, right? Those are the
Yeah.
big 79s you're getting over there. Every once in a while, like, there's a guy actually that lives, I believe it's Highlands Ranch in Colorado that has a 79 Trophy in a like a desert sand color. And it's gorgeous, absolutely gorgeous vehicle. But it's of course 30 years old
Yeah.
in order to have it here.
So, from all your experience with the Toyotas, the best thing they ever put out, what is it?
Jeez, I don't know, man. I'd have to say the 80 series just because of what you can do with them. For a daily driver, I'll have to say that 4.7 Tundra got to be one of the best things.
Really? That Tundra sold it for you, huh?
50,000 miles, and I would drive it to California tomorrow. That's an incredibly comfortable car. The seats are comfy. It's a big truck. You do whatever you want with it.
I mean, it's essentially a Tacoma. For when you look at a Tacoma nowadays, those generation Tundras are really just a Tacoma with a V8.
Exactly.
The only
Exactly.
thing
That's
I
why.
didn't
That's what
like about them was the front end. I just didn't think they looked sexy enough. That's the only thing that's ever turned me off.
you just rip it all off and put a big old steel bumper, and it's
Yeah.
perfect.
Oh, for sure, man. No, they're awesome. So, I'm trying to think what would probably be because 'cause we've done a lot of trips together. I mean, we've done a lot of kinda, snow wheeling, all up in the mountains, up in the Rockies. We've done Moab a few times. Of Colorado, what do you think are, like, the top 2 trails out here to do? Because most of the stuff that we've done, if you got, like, a Jeep, big solid axle, and you're on 40s, then you can hit some serious trails. But
Yeah.
for the run-of-the-mill people that are on any, Toyota, that's got 35s, what do you think are, like, the best trails out here to hit?
Wouldn't even need 35s. I think if you had 33, I think you had 33s at the
I had
time.
33s forever.
Simmons Gulch, over in BV, probably be one of the most fun trails just because of the accessibility. So, you could ride all day. It's a little bumpy, a little sketchy. It's got a big, like a big rock step up in there.
Yeah.
That was a lot of fun. I think you'd probably agree with one of the more fun trails just as an experience would have been that, the one out in St. I remember that water crossing. It was about 3.5 foot deep water
That was
crossing at
pretty
the end
cool.
of St. Vrain.
Yeah.
That was a cool trip. Yeah, I remember I met some cool guys there too. Talking to them for a while until we all sold our 80s. I think the one of the more fun trips we ever did, uh, which actually ended up going with our buddy Corey.
Yeah.
Obviously, remember out on the border between Colorado and Utah is a collection of trails that are rather dusty. They're rather loose dirt. You never want to go there when it's wet out because you'll get stuck in the mud. But there's this area called Valley.
Where?
That house. The Rabbit Valley.
Okay. I could barely hear you when you said it. I was like, "What did you say?"
Yeah, yeah. You were there. I think you remember Rabbit Valley on that border of Colorado, Utah. You make a left off the highway.
So, up near Grand Junction?
Yeah, past Grand Junction. There's a just beautiful outlooks, but the only way you're gonna get there is if you're technically off-roading because I don't think it's actually a road.
I think I know what you're talking about because 'cause we're on our way to Moab.
Yes, yes, and we camped out there at night with all the dogs and Corey and Liz
Yeah,
and
and we woke up and you basically had that canyon right there with the okay.
whole Colorado River Canyon, beautiful.
So I found that off of one of these apps. We were just looking for a spot to camp the night before, or not the night before, but before we started the trip. And we're like, "Hey, we need this kinda halfway point." And I saw something on app, had no idea what it even looked like. So I'm checking this thing out. I'm like, well, it says you need an off-road rig to get down, it's a 4x4 trail to get down it. So we're driving down this road. It's in the middle of the night, and we get to a spot where they have like a picnic table. I'm like, okay, I guess we can set something up here. But we have no idea what we're next to. We camp out the night. I think I didn't even have a rooftop tent. I think I had the overhang, the awning, and that what is it? The ARB annex room attached to that. Um,
You did, and you had a cot. I
yeah.
remember this. I mean, this is the definition of you don't need anything to camp.
Yeah, you don't need shit. Depends on how comfortable you wanna be. That's really it. And, yeah, so I took an ARB awning, and then I had the annex room, set it up, and it's really just one big open tent. It's awesome.
It
And camped in that, and we woke up the next morning, and well, hold on, before I get to that, I remember hearing a train.
that is the most memorable moment
Yeah.
of all camping we've ever done was that train.
I'm like, "What the hell is this?" And we hear this train, and we look over there's this cliffside, and we look down, and down in the valley, snaking through by the Colorado River, you see this train light just snaking around.
Beautiful. Something out of a movie, and
Yeah,
then it just intercepted off into the distance, and I think we all just stood there just watching it, just in awe.
yeah,
Really surprised.
and it was
Yeah.
kinda eerie, but super cool. And, woke up the next morning, we went out, we took a look at it, I'm like, "Oh, that's what we're looking at." It really just looked like a piece of the Grand Canyon, how that little valley and that gulch was. It was super cool.
It was. It was our little Grand Canyon view and middle of Utah.
Yeah. Then we, went on down to Moab after that, didn't we?
Sure did. And scared the pants out of everybody doing we did Hell's Revenge and we did some other trail out there.
Yeah, I did Hell's Revenge, we did Top of the World.
We did Top of the World at night.
Yeah, it was that and
Turns out
you had a bent axle.
it doesn't take 3 hours.
So, I remember the tail end of that trip because you were leaving, you and Mirta were taking off, and this you guys were all leaving, and I was staying behind because I was meeting up with the other off-roading group from the Springs, and you're like, "Hey, we're gonna go do Top of the World before we roll out of here."
So we ended up having it. So yeah, so we do Rabbit Valley, finish up with that part of the trip, and then we zip over to Moab and we did Hell's Revenge. Halfway through Hell's Revenge, actually, it might have been at the beginning. I didn't realize, but I bent my tail shaft on my Land Cruiser. Then we tried to drive to Top of the World and ended up finding out the entire way my old truck was just vibrating like hell because my drive shaft was bent like this. Uh, we did the whole Top of the World with a bent drive shaft because I wasn't going to leave without doing it. And then yeah, we were gonna split off and go back home, and you were gonna split off to go do some more riding with the guys from the Springs, and we ended up pulling out the tail shaft of that man cruiser and driving home in two-wheel drive for 6 hours.
Yeah.
For I got like 15 miles per gallon, man. That was the best gas mileage I've ever seen in my life. Two-wheel drive Land Cruiser, front wheel drive, driving home the
Yeah.
whole way.
That was a hell of a trip,
Yeah.
man. We have, like, yeah, 6-hour drive all the way through the Rockies, so
I mean, it just goes to show, like, I mean, from you get these rigs that are just, just a car for a lot of people. It's like, originally they were made as a grocery getter, the Forerunner,
yeah,
like the farm
it's like a
vehicle. And
mom car.
yeah, you do enough modifications to them. You get out there, you meet some people, you wreck them, I remember meeting like 3 more guys off that broken tail shaft because I had to join like the Rising Sun 4x4 group just to find a tail shaft.
Really?
Yeah, yeah. Some random guy reached out and said, "Hey, I got one for you. $50, come grab it." I went over to his house. He hands it off to me. We chat for a while. He had an 80 series Land Cruiser that was bent lined in again like a taupe sand color. And, dude, you meet the coolest people off these great the soccer mom car.
And that's just, I mean, we're gonna piss some people off with that. It's not, fully soccer mom car. But hey,
For sure, a soccer mom car,
those
man.
old school ones, not so much. Today, yeah, no one gets them dirty. Um, it's kind of funny. Like I'll watch people buy like the new Broncos right now, and they're cool rigs. I still think a solid axle Jeep will, like if you're gonna get one, I'd just go buy a Jeep. But they're cool. But at the same time, I'm like, man, it's gonna be another 5, 10 years before you actually use that thing because it's too nice now. You go put some any damage on it. Some people that they got the money, they'll go beat them up.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
But
But as long as people have payments on them, they're not gonna ding them up. When you buy
no.
you buy 'em used. Buy everything used.
Yeah,
It won't matter.
that
Uh,
that's the thing about the 4Runner. I have no hesitation about just beat the shit out of it, and it'll be fine.
and your 4Runner did some incredible things that it vastly surpassed what my old 4Runner used to be able to do.
Really?
Somehow you figured out the suspension and it's lifted just enough with the right size tire where yours ends up tracking so much further, so much better than mine ever did.
It did well, man. It's a good little rig. It's hard to ever get rid of it, and there's no point like, I'd have to put probably 30 grand into something else to even get it anywhere as capable as what that does.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely.
So,
Yeah, you'd have to be 30 grand into some other rig.
yeah, or go buy another rig for 60 and then still be too afraid to beat the shit out of it.
I feel like the price range for a trailer rig is for me at least, is somewhere around 5 to 5 to 7 grand should be the starting price because you're gonna mess it up. You're gonna scratch the paint.
Yeah.
You're gonna want to put your seats in it. All that other, you just need to don't worry about anything else.
You know what though was so fun about these old Toyotas? Obviously, you can tell we're more Toyota people, but what's great about a Toyota, man, you can see somebody with $100,000 Jeep, and they're on the trail doing their thing, and I mean, they're doing great. Nothing wrong with Jeeps are badass.
They can do everything.
They
They
do
can do
everything.
everything.
But then you know
Yeah.
what? Some kid will show up with a $5,000 shit box, and
No,
he will do every
it'll
damn thing, maybe a little slower, but he's doing everything too.
it's chef's kiss when you see him just bouncing off the rev limiter trying to get up something, or you know, it just doesn't matter.
Yeah.
You didn't spend 90 grand on it. You spent five. Who cares?
Who cares? He breaks it, throw it on the trailer, like, hell, just start drinking beer.
Exactly. It'll make itself home. Yeah. Actually, I do remember on that trip we were talking about, you split off to go ride with the guys from the Springs, and maybe one of them will hear this video and remember this, but they were going down a washboard road and hit a really big rut, and the battery popped up out of the tray and welded itself to the hood and started a fire.
No shit?
I don't remember. Yeah, yeah.
I remember hearing
He ended up
about
just
it. I just didn't.
yeah, yeah. That was that trip. That was the same trip with the same guys. They ended up putting it on the forums later. He basically welded his battery to the hood. When he came back down, he was kind of stuck there, still getting hot and making a fire.
Yeah.
I don't know how he got out of it, but he kept riding.
Dude, those boys, they rode hard, man. So if you ever look
They were
up T4R.org, you're gonna find most of those builds are from people in Colorado, and the
Mhm.
majority of those dudes all live down in the Springs. And you
Yes.
talk about like a Toyota Colt down there, when these guys get together, they will I mean, I'm just playing around, but these guys, when they get together, they ride hard. And they're there to beat the shit out of their stuff, and I think they just enjoy just rebuilding rear ends and stuff like that out there. It's
You
a
must. You
badge of
must
honor to
re
go with it. Like, if you just gone a little slower, been fine. These things do great, but I mean, they're out there beating the shit out of their forerunners. So you get on those forums and you follow them. So Turtle Runner, he's he's pretty popular on Instagram. He's got one on shit, he probably put 40s on his thing at least. When I saw him out there, he just got long travel and he was jumping it. And he threw me in the passenger side and I was with him when he was getting a lot of the shots when he's jumping it when he's out there. And it's cool, man.
yeah. Oh shit.
Yeah, no shit. He was beating the hell out of it. So those guys are hard on their stuff, man, but they're fun. So yeah, follow some of those guys out in Colorado Springs because they do some cool
Right.
builds.
I mean, you just find anybody with an old Toyota who looks like they kind of know what they're doing, and they'll have a good time.
Yeah,
They'll figure it out along the way.
yeah, you'll make it. So you really like those trails out there. I'd say one of the more scenic trails that people should always just go do, and it's super easy, but it's Rim Rock or Red Rock. Was it Red Rim or Rim Rock or something like that? Red Cone.
Red cone, yeah,
Red
yeah.
Cone.
You and Federico did that one.
Yeah. We've done that a few times. I remember Fed when he got his Land Cruiser, he went up there. We did it.
Alternator died.
Was that?
Alternator died.
Sorry, I didn't hear you. What?
His alternator died.
Oh, yeah. It did.
Yeah, you remember that?
Damn, Fed's always breaking something.
Mhm.
Yeah, he just bought
He
that
he
thing
didn't
too.
he didn't even make it off the trail before we were making fun of him. You texted me a picture of him on the side of the road, and I said, "Did Federico break down again?" He said, "Yeah." He didn't even make it off the trail.
Ah, well, shit. He still got it. I think it's in storage somewhere.
Yeah, somewhere.
All right.
I think it's here in Colorado.
So then for Moab, what's your favorite?
On four wheels, I would say my favorite's got to be um, just Hell's Revenge. Just the views. If you take any of the offshoots that take you to the top of some of those viewpoints, I mean, they're just incredible. It's just challenging enough. It's just gorgeous. It's a long. If we go to two wheels, we're out there. Me and some of my friends doing a little dirt bike trip. We did Poison Spider on two wheels, and that is
Poison Spider is, you know what? It's not that challenging, I don't think at all.
no, I don't think so either.
There's like two like obstacles on it, but Poison Spider is such a beautiful trail. Me and Joey did it in that side by side we rented. You're on the same trip for that one. You weren't on that trail. That was when you and Mirta took off because it was gonna snow.
Oh, that trip.
Yes, that trip.
Yes, 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 yes,
So we were
yes.
in it. So me and my boy Joey, we were in a side by side, did Poison Spider, and we got to the end of it, and we're overlooking Moab right there. And what's cool about this trail is you really see three different types of terrain. You have rocks, you have sand, more rocks. So anyway, but
Don't forget the
pretty
overlooks.
rocks, so then you overlook Moab at the end of it. So at least you got something at the end that's pretty. And we see these rain clouds coming in. And we're like, well, we got to get out of here before this starts just pissing all over. So we take off and then we turn in the machine and we're like, let's go ahead and take off and get out of here. And you were ahead of us by like 2 hours.
Oh, this is the one that took us 12 hours to drive home.
Yeah, it was bad. So there was a rainstorm coming in to hit Moab. So by the time you get to Grand Junction, start heading over those passes, it's all snow. So we were heading to Grand Junction. Nelson and Mirta were ahead of us. And I remember Nelson hitting me up and he's like, "Hey man, I know you got new tires on that thing, but don't think those pizza cutters are gonna get through this shit." He was like, "This is so," I mean, they probably would have, but it's like, "It's so dangerous, don't do it." And he's like,
It wasn't worth it.
he was like,
No.
"Of all the things, just don't do this tonight." And
And do you remember? I remember calling you when I said that. I was like, I wish I'd turned around. But at that point, I actually physically could not turn my car around. I just so
what
anybody.
happened with that?
Yeah. So if you're heading out of, so you leave. We were leaving Moab, and it was one of the first time it rained there, basically for the season. And obviously, it doesn't rain a lot in Moab. We started seeing the rain, and we thought, okay, well, that can't be good. That can't be a good, precursor to this 6 hour drive home. We're only about 30 minutes in, and it's raining before we got to the highway. We hopped on the 25, or was it the 70? We're coming across. We got to Grand Junction. It's raining just a little bit. We get to Palisade. You're just outside of Grand Junction. Climb. There's a climb that basically now you begin going into the mountains. Like you're beginning the ride home, basically, when you get to Palisade. And all hell loose. Uh, there's a turn as you exit Palisade that basically is, um, yeah, it is the beginning of the mountains, and you can't see it when you're passing by Grand Junction. You can't quite see up that left hand turn. I'll never forget coming. I mean, right now I can vividly remember coming around that corner, white out. You couldn't see beyond 5 feet in front of your car. You couldn't see the road. You couldn't see the sidelines. And next thing you know, I saw two cars just jammed off the side of the road in a ditch. And I slowed my Land Cruiser down to check on them, make sure they were doing all right. And as I came to a stop, out of the white behind me came an 18-wheeler and almost took us out. I ran back on the gas, got out of the side of the road area there, kept going up the mountain. I think that's about when I called you and I said, just don't do it, man. Don't come out this way. I think my wife had work the next day, so we were like, well, let's just try to get back. And the highway was closed the entire way back. Every time we saw closure, we got off the main highway, took side roads, took back roads. I mean, people's cars were just smashed and stuck in ditches, and that had to be one of the most incredible rides ever. The snow was so thick when we got to Glenwood Springs and Glenwood Canyon, we turned the headlights off
Really?
because because the headlights were reflecting back so much snow you couldn't see. We just turned the headlights off. So we drove with no headlights through Glenwood Canyon in the snow at night.
No
The
shit.
lights that are there were just enough for us to see the road, and it was easier to do that than to do anything else.
That's wild, man. So
Yeah, it was wild, man.
I remember me and Joey went to a hotel after Nelson called us, and we're like, all right, I guess we're just gonna stop here. And we found a spot. And anyway, we go into the lobby. There's a handful of people in there. And this guy comes walking in and he's like, how far did you get? I'm like, we didn't. Our buddies are up on that mountain. And he was like, there's people dying up there right now. He was like, he's like, an 18 wheeler almost took us out. He was like, we turned around and got the hell out of there. He's like, there's literally people dying up there right now.
It was Armageddon. I mean, end of the world stuff was happening up there. We were just hoping to stay on on pavement. I don't saying pavement, but it was really just packed snow um, for the next 12 hours. Come back to Denver. And of course, you drop back in Denver Valley and the snow's gone, the snow stops. No one would ever know that you were, up to your eyeballs in snow for 11 hours.
Jesus.
Yeah, that was an incredible time. Talk about off-roading favorite trail. That would be my worst trail. It'd be the I-70 coming back in a
The
snowstorm.
I-70, coming back from up is the worst trail you've ever done.
The worst trail.
Holy shit, man. We've had some good ones out there because, man, I love that. I mean, hell, we even did, San Juan Mountains. I'd say Colorado, the San Juans are probably my favorite.
When did we go to the San Juan?
You followed me on your bike.
Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah. Oh, yeah, right. Yes, we did. We did Webster Pass.
Yeah.
Yeah, we did Webster Pass. I was still driving the Tenere 700. Yep, did a little solo trip at a camp. And you left me to be eaten by bears.
Hey, we did fine. Didn't so we had to go to Silverton.
So Bobby goes, meet Bobby at a little camping area near the beginning of Webster Pass. And as I'm settling in, I'm setting my tent up. I'm on the ground. Bobby's in his rooftop tent. He's telling me a story of the last time he was here. His Forerunner was just shaking like crazy, middle of the night, as it let his tire swing out, and a black bear decided to try to get into his trash bag. And he's telling me this story while I'm just trying to just mind my own damn business, put my tent up. And I'm like, well, I look at him and his wife, wife Reba, and I go, actually at that time she was your girlfriend,
Yeah.
actually. And I said, if there's a bear in the middle of the night, I'm gonna call up to you. And he said, yeah, just holler my name and I'll wake up. Well, 5 or 6 weeks later, we all go to bed, middle of the night. I wake up and I say, typically gotta take a leak in the middle of the night. I open the tent up, turn my flashlight on. What's coming up the road? 2 big black bears. And I just said, no way, man, no way. Like, what are the chances? They're right. And I turn around and I start yelling. Bobby's about this far away from me. I mean, I'm right
I'm in a
here.
rooftop tent on top of Forerunner.
He's right here. I'm just yelling at him. Bobby, nothing. No response, nothing. I say, well, tonight's my night. If tonight's my, I just hear him snoring away. I say, if tonight's my night, I guess that's how it goes.
Hey,
Turn my flashlight on to go to bed.
that's the way it is, guys. Yeah.
Yeah, but I'll just remember the next morning waking up telling you, yeah, man, there was bear here last night. He said, there wasn't a bear here last night. and you opened up your tent, looked down the ladder, and there was just a big old bear stack right at the bottom. I guess there were bears here last night. Yes, there were.
So the funny thing with that, so where we were camping, if you guys ever go to Ouray, Colorado, it is absolutely amazing. The San Juan Mountains, you have Ouray, you got rooftop bars, you can drink there. It's not as uptight as Telluride. Telluride is more of a ski town. Ouray is the fun one. And anyway, right outside of Ouray, going over road, going on to the Silver Dollar or the $1 Million Highway, there is a little turn off to the left, right outside of it, and you go up this road, and it's kinda like the gatekeeper, kinda like this weird little spot where if you can get over this thing, then you can go camp over there. And it is an amazing spot. You go maybe half a mile down this trail, and then you come to this little area where it opens up, and you have about 300-degree views of just solid rock face all the way around you. Absolutely beautiful. So I camped there one time with a group that I met, up with, basically, the first time you know, 1 year before that when I was in Colorado, actually, a couple years before that, Colorado.
Yeah.
This group, we basically spent a week up there hitting all the trails, and I was leading one of the groups out there. We had a blast and met a lot of good people out there. But one of the things is we all camped there, and you had like 15, 20 people in this spot, probably more. And I remember there was this one couple that was right next to me. I'm actually still friends with them to this day. You know, you meet people, but there was bears coming into the camps. And so the thing that happened with my situation is like the first night we're there, I go to bed not thinking of anything. I'm a big guy. I don't have to worry about too much stuff. Like I got bear spray and everything in the car, you know, a gun, all the normal crap you would have. Anyway, I just get up there and I'm just in my underwear, sleeping in this tent, forgot about everything. And about 3 o'clock in the morning, I feel my entire forerunner just shaking. You know, and I'm like, "What the hell?" And I realized that I left the swing out open and I got a trash root hanging on that spare tire. So I realized there was a bear trying to get in my trash, and I had nothing up there but a cell phone. So I just go, "Hey!" Just yell at it, and then it startled it a little bit and just got off, and I unzipped the tent. And I got my little flashlight, and I flash over there, and I see this is a pretty big bear. You got fed sleeping over there on the ground, and then, you know, everyone else, and I'm like, "Oh, shit, that's a big bear." And it's just making its way around the camp, and I just yelled at it, and then it moved away. But anyway, our friends, up there, I remember they came home from a trail a little early. They went on a separate trail ride, and they're like, "Hey, Bobby, we saw a mom here with a bunch of cubs." And I'm like, "Oh, well, you want to stay away from them." And we were talking, and I'm like, "Look, guys, you know, all this stuff in Colorado, these bears, they're timid. They're skittish, they're like a dog, and they are so used to company showing up and giving them food or scavenging from it, they're just always around no matter what. So, one thing I told them, so if anyone needs to know what to do in case of a bear situation at night, everyone is sleeping next to their car or they're on top of their car, just hit your car alarm and it'll scare the hell out of anything around them and they'll take off. But if you use your bear spray, the problem is you're gonna contaminate your campsite, you're gonna probably get you're gonna ruin your tent and all your crap around you. And then on top of it, you have to pack your shit up and move anyway because now that scent is in the air and then now it will attract bears after that. So,
Mhm.
little tip for you. If you have bear spray, use it when you really need it. Up to your own discretion, but your tent site and all the other stuff's probably gonna be ruined afterwards.
Yeah.
So use your
So you wouldn't even put it out near your car. Keep it away.
let it do his
Yeah.
thing. But yeah, the one thing about Colorado, man, I remember coming back one night when I saw a moose. And I realized how big those things were.
What's it over, Antero Antero Junction? Antero
No,
Pass?
no, it was still I'm not sure. No, it wasn't even on one of the passes. It was, that $1 Million Highway coming back from Silverton.
Hey, okay. Yeah, there's a bunch of yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, you gotta watch a couple things out here. You got bear, moose, people.
Yeah.
Biggest animal out in the woods is people. Yeah.
But no, it's been a good time up there, man. I love that area. All the best trails. If you can stay a week, it's fun.
Great trip. Fantastic trip. And then the next day, I wasn't eaten alive by bear.
What's that?
We Next day, I wasn't eaten alive by bears, so we just took off up to Webster Pass, and, I mean, I had a great time up there.
Yeah. No, it was awesome. Yeah, we did that, and then you went on the backside. You just went back to Denver after that, didn't you?
Yeah, yeah, I went past, went over to Lake City, think that's where I split off with you guys, was right before Lake City. I zipped down to there, and then I went over to oh, what's that? The Horseshoe Reservoir? Is that what it's called?
I think so.
Basically on the way towards Crested Butte. I stopped over there, did some back through there that area a little slower, and then I just zipped all the way back to Denver.
Nice, man. So, what would you say anyone who's getting into Colorado off-roading? Obviously, we have different type of terrain here from California to Denver. What are the things? I'm always thinking about recovery because most people never think about that. They always have one set of terrain set up in their car and they think they're good to go. Then they go to another area. What are the things people should probably have in their rigs, no matter what, for, I guess, mountain terrain when they're off roading?
Maybe not in your rig, but something that you want to have on you is somebody that knows how to fix your stuff. Because sometimes that is going to be the best way out of a situation. It's just having somebody on hand that knows where you're going and what you're going to get mixed up into. I would have to say, best way to prepare for a trip, something you have on you: flashlight, some baling wire, and a winch. You can get out of almost everything.
How would you use baling wire?
Baling wire, you always need to tie something down. You always have to hook something up. You never know. You never know.
Yeah, you may just have to suspend something. You break a CV, you're trying to keep something just in its some spot. If you can't rip it out.
Trying to keep something out of the way. You're just trying to hold your exhaust up. You're trying to keep your bumper on. You just lost your hinge or your pin for your swing out. Baling wire.
Yeah,
At the very least, you'll get a decent way down the trail before something breaks again. Let's say you rip something off the roof. Oh, ground ratchet straps, baling wire. Get pretty far.
damn right. Gotta be very
Yep.
ingenuitive. If you can do that and you can just be a little creative and know the way the basic mechanics of the stuff. And it's kind of I used to tell people, like, if you're getting something done to your rig, learn how it's put on to be able to work it. Because if you have to rely on a mechanic somewhere else because you never had anything to do with putting that piece together,
Right?
no way
You
in
just
hell you're
write
gonna
check.
fix it.
Yeah.
Or at least
Yeah.
try.
If you're gonna just write checks to get something done, every once in a while, do your own oil change. Call it around. Look for stuff that's wet. Just know what it looks like under there.
Yeah,
Or at least when something breaks, and next time you roll underneath and you look around, something will look different. So that'll save you. That'll save you a lot of headaches.
damn right.
Taking a look. Yeah.
Yeah, no, that's a good point, man. That's definitely it. Um, I'm trying to think of something that I would you know what? One thing that I believe in also is an air compressor.
Yeah.
An air compressor is just very useful because if you're out there and you get stuck, a lot of times, if you just air down your tires enough, you can get out of a lot of sticky situations, and you might have to air that damn thing back up.
You know, you bring up a really good point with kind of like the air compressor and being able to use it in different situations. Like a lot of guys will start going to the extremes and start thinking, oh, I need to bring a welder. I need to bring those DC welders and such. Go through your rig and learn what bolt sizes are being used. If you're in a Toyota, you're going to look for those, M12s, M8s, M10s. Learn what bolts are used in your calipers. Go to your Ace Hardware, whatever you want to get your bolts at, and just go buy a handful of bolts in different sizes. Put them in a baggie, get some nuts, some hardware, some washers, stash them away somewhere in your car. I cannot say how many times having a bolt, a nut, and a washer has got me out of some shit.
Damn right. I got a little
That thing,
box in mind with this extra ones right there.
yeah.
I keep that. Also, another thing I'd tell people is I carry a 100-piece toolkit with me everywhere. That damn 100-piece toolkit can get me out of most binds, and a adjustable wrench, really helps because you got some big nuts that you gotta twist somewhere around. Like, if you got, like, different control arms and all this extra shit and links, you might need a whole, inch and a half damn wrench or some shit.
I know what you're talking about. You're talking about your mega industrial
Yeah.
wrench. Bobby's got one about this big in his car, about 3 foot long. You could use that as a breaker bar. You can use it to scare off a bear. I mean, that thing, it
If
has
you
a
need
lot of
to
use.
beat the shit out of something, it'll work for that too. Um,
Yeah.
it was my main thing is, if I've ever had to use it, I might need it again. Now, you may
Mhm.
have enough stuff in your car, you can start loading it up with all the things you think you're gonna need, but if it comes a couple years and you don't ever use it, get rid of the damn thing.
Or make it smaller.
Yeah. Um, so I have,
Big
like,
fan
a
of that.
separate box of, like, if there's specialty sockets that I need. Say, hey, if I got to change out a CV axle on the front of this car, I might need what a 36 millimeter. No one carries that, but you need that damn thing to get that off. So those little specialty tools, I have a whole separate box of just things you need. Like when I'm out of side by side, I'm like, great. Now a whole nother thing that I got to now figure out what I need to bring with me of extra tools and belts and shit like that. So yeah, for all you Toyota. And here's the other thing: why you wheel with people with the same stuff, because if you don't have it, they might have it, and you might have to cannibalize somebody else's stuff. This is why all Jeep people all ride together. They got the same parts. That's why you don't mix a lot of Jeep people, Toyota people. Their shit don't mix.
Hey, man, if you don't have the rubber ducky that you need in your collection, you gotta get the guys from Jeep next to you, man.
Yeah, man. Hey, if your duckies don't get along, I don't know what to tell you.
Well, yeah. Oh, it's
Yeah.
the Jeep thing.
It's I guess it's just a Jeep thing, I guess. I don't know what the hell it is, but, yeah, they got a lot of ducks. You know what? I can't I give I don't care what if you got a cool Jeep, have a duck. But what I can't
Yeah.
stand is
Gotta
seeing a
go Jeep.
Jeep that's perfectly stock. How the fuck did you get a duck? What did you do to earn that duck?
You do know what the ducks are from, right?
I have no idea.
They were originally started as a, fundraiser event for, a childhood cancer, and people got ducks for that, and then ever since that, it basically, s transcended into this ducking of cars. I know you get a duck when you do something cool or whatever it is, but it's basically exploded from there, but the original from what I understand, it originated as a, childhood cancer foundation.
Okay. A way to just kill the mood, Nelson. Thanks.
Sorry, man, I just those random factoids, man, you just got 'em stuck in your head, and you gotta do with something.
Hey, so how come Toyota people don't what's the Toyota guy's version of a duck? We ain't got none.
Broken CVs in the back.
CVs? Yeah, I keep an extra CV in my
Yeah.
actually, I probably should have just said that. Keep an extra CV on you.
Yeah, if you're running IFS, buy the CV from Napa for the cheapest one you get. Like, buy the cheapest piece of junk you can get. Throw it at the back of the car, you're good to go.
It don't need to be cheap. $60, that's all they cost. They're all cheap, unless you're getting
Yeah.
chromoly.
Yeah, buy like, you might run chromollies, but still just buy some piece of junk, keep it in the back of the truck just for when you need it. If you're running a Land Cruiser, keep an extra hub. The hubs crack sometimes. Keep an extra outside hub, a couple of the nuts for it, and, brake caliper bolts. Bring a couple extra of those.
Yeah. You ever break a brake caliper bowl?
No, it fell out.
Really?
The 80 series Land Cruisers are notorious for vibrating very important bolts right off the vehicle. For any guys out there that have one, you'll know the knuckle studs on the bottom on your actual would be I guess it's considered the hub itself. Uh, there's four studs on the bottom. Those get loose, and when one of those nuts comes off, it gets loose and it'll snap. It'll snap the other studs off. Brake caliper bolts, they loosen off. I actually lost one coming home from the grocery store one time. We just heard this clank and a fling noise, and I knew immediately. I knew immediately what it was. But guess what I had in my center console about it?
An extra nut or bolt?
I had an extra, exactly, M12 brake caliper. Actually, it was M14. It was huge. Brake caliper bolt sitting right at my center console. Got under there, put it right in, tightened it up, and we drove home.
That's awesome, man. Because something like that could have seriously ruined someone's day.
It ruined the whole day.
Yeah.
Yep. Dragon. So
Hell yeah, man.
yeah, learn your vehicle, learn the bolts, learn the stuff. Just go on the forums. What is the first thing that's going to break on this if I go wheeling with it? And just be prepared. Learn what to do.
And your
Think
scuttle.
about it.
Bring your scuttle. Do you need to have one of those?
Bring your scuttle, man. Bring your scuttle. You never know when you're camped on the side of the road and you need a scuttle.
Oh god.
You just increase scuttle sales 50%.
So me and Nelson had this thing for forever. We would talk shit. You know, most people that do this. You're gonna be a hater one way or another. and all we saw were overlanders running around, and everyone had a scuttle. They probably couldn't fix the damn thing on the rig, but they had a scuttle with them. So it was like, just make
They
sure
could
you
they
got a
could cook you some
scuttle.
real good some fried rice in that thing, man. You can scottle it
Yeah.
up.
Who knows? You might have to keep your eggs warm while you're cooking your bacon. It all works together. So I want one.
Man,
One of
those are
these days
the
I'll get a
days.
scuttle, but I don't. It's not the highest thing on my priority list. So
No, a 50-pound piece of metal with some legs and a propane hookup, not on my list of priorities for camping.
yeah,
Oh,
everyone's got the thing.
one. Um, so camping with Bobby, it always made me laugh, the things that you pull out of your camping stuff. So Bobby's camping setup for the entire time he was here in Colorado, and I don't even know, I think that you might still have this, is a IKEA, no, probably not IKEA, it's probably a Walmart drawer, clear drawer bin organizer, which you'd see next to a child's desk. But Bobby had everything in it. You want some extra sugar? He's got sugar. You want plates? Everything in this thing. I mean, you would go down some gnarly roads, get out of your truck, open the back, and that thing was still there in one piece. And I'll never forget. I don't know where we were camping. I must have been somewhere in Utah. And you open your bin up. What does Bobby pull out? An automatic espresso maker. And it was I think what it accepted like
It's
those
K-Cups.
pods,
It would take
the K
K-Cup.
cups, yeah, K cup machine. And that thing was around for almost the whole time I knew you. And then one day it just died. And we were all heartbroken because we all stopped bringing coffee. We just said, "Oh, Bobby's got it. Bobby'll make us a coffee when we get to camp." And then one day that thing died, and we were all so bummed. But now you're running
But now I have a
an espresso.
coffee company here doing this thing. But,
And now you have a
yeah,
coffee company.
obviously
You're running this
AeroPress.
AeroPress.
So I can explain that. So that yeah, I'm a gadget whore. All right. I got all the cool toys. But what's kind of funny about that little bin, so if you look at it was just one of those cheap crap bins that most people have in their closet. It's just plastic with a drawer. So the reason I got that, I needed so everyone, so this is kind of one of these funny things where you look at where your money goes. I got lockers front and rear on my rig. I got a rooftop tent. I got onboard air. I got everything you can imagine in this Forerunner. But I just could not justify spending $1,000 for a drawer system to put just more bullshit in. And you don't really need it. It takes up space. Now it becomes part of your rig and it weighs it down. And I like versatility. So anyway, I see my buddy's wife threw that shit out on the doorstep. Like she was waiting for the trash guy to come pick it up. And I look at him like, damn, that's perfect. That's all I need. It weighs nothing. It's right there. It's two drawers. The hell? I'm like, so I took it. I used that thing for years. I finally no, actually, it's in the garage. I just put extra bolts in it. I quit putting it in the car to use it, but I just threw extra bolts and shit in it. But it was literally just this cheap plastic thing, and I'm like, it
Yeah, but
works.
it served perfect. It was the perfect thing. I mean, you had it was what, 5 pounds of plastic with drawers, and it did everything you needed it to do.
Yeah,
And it was the perfect example of, yeah, like you said, it's where you put your money. Are you gonna really spend $1,000 on that or $1,000 on tires?
yeah. I want something that's going to serve a purpose, and for some reason, opening a drawer does not mean that much to me. But it's a cute little kitchenette. So what I did with that, I found so this little contraption that I found. I wanted something just to make coffee real quick, and I was not that picky about coffee back in those days. So it looked like a thermos. You open the top, you put a cup in it, close it, and then you basically take the bottom section off. You boil hot water, put the water in it, pour it in, and it forces the water through and makes it just a K cup. It's awesome. I used that thing for years. So anyway, on one of those trips, I'm out there making coffee. Friends come over to get some. The thing just took a shit. So I'm like, well, this thing doesn't work anymore. Then that's when a hard lesson on get rid of unnecessary parts. So I was like, all right, well, this failed me. So let me go get an AeroPress. There's no mechanical parts that'll ever fail you in an AeroPress. So from then on, it's all AeroPress. I still keep that thing in my kit. And now I have French presses and everything else, but yeah.
It also, I mean, it was a really good lesson on, I mean, you got every ounce of use out of a product like that. brought people together. It was a fun conversation piece. We all had a good laugh when you pulled it up, when you brought that thing out the first time. I mean, it was what the size of a little bit bigger than a can, and you said, "Who wants coffee?" And we're just,
Yeah. It
I
looked like a
no,
shaker, but it
it looked
makes
like a
coffee. I'm
shaker.
like, "That's cool."
Yeah, and actually, since you left Colorado, I actually got a different version of one of those,
Really?
and we eventually, um, we keep it in the cab of the truck. And on long road trips, when we are, driving through the middle of nowhere, Kansas, or we're driving in the middle of nowhere, Utah, we'll just put that thing in the cup holder, fill it up with water. They've got a new model out that has a heater built into it,
Ooh.
and it'll boil the water and make the espresso on the spot. So we're able to. I'm a big fan of really good coffee in different places, and somehow they've packed the punch of these full size espresso machine into these little tiny machines, and it's fantastic. You save a few bucks, you get a good coffee, you're out on the trail somewhere, you're out cruising, between beaches, and probably it is one of those products we just keep on hand all the time.
Damn right. If it works, man, it works. Keep it going. Take care of your gear.
Take care of your gear.
What other tips
Sweet.
you got, my man? I don't want to keep you here all night talking and shit, but it's still fun to talk about this. Honestly, it's
It's good.
bullshit
Yeah, man.
about, but
Yeah.
there's actually a lot of people that don't know this stuff.
Man, tips. I just have fun, nerd out. Hey, there's nothing wrong with nerding out on things you're passionate about, and if you want to get into off-roading or something like that, just get into it. I think one of the best things I ever heard was, um, if it's already fucked, you can't fuck it anymore.
There you go.
Try it. If something's broken, you got a broken CV, you got something else messed up on your car, whatever. In most cases, just try it. Try changing it out in the garage. Grab a couple tools. Grab, like you said, grab the 100-piece toolkit. It'll get you so far. You'll have see tools later and get into what you can. Don't be afraid to take a couple risks with that. Watch your lines when you're riding on your rigs, and that's about the best advice I can give.
Well said, bro.
Yeah, of
Well,
cool.
Nelson, appreciate you doing this, my man.
Course.
Need to get you some coffee.
Yeah. And just get yourself some Glamis coffee. It's actually just water into the day,
Hey, I'd Gatorade mine today, so it's all good.
but
It's kind of early in the day. I just had to drink some, get it down.
funny enough, before we actually started all of this, I actually was on a work call, and it's our little social hour. We spent a minute talking, and we were all just yapping, talking shit, and talking bullshit with work about different stuff in our lives, and I was just laughing with them about how I I I'm. We were talking about how like everyone's like, how do you make friends? How do you make friends nowadays? And I said, you just go buy a rig. And they're like, what do you mean? I'm like, you just go buy a POS Jeep or a Land Cruiser or a Toyota of some sorts. Put a little bit of maintenance in it. Spend like $500. Just get it running good enough, and just start riding it on the trail, and you will make friends. Just you're gonna make friends. That's gonna be a great time. And they didn't understand it. It's difficult to explain to them, but no, but yeah, they really they think that I think they understood what it really is like. You get a rig, you go out, you have some fun, and next thing you know, you're meeting some dude, and you're in his garage on your back, holding the transmission while he's putting some bolts in, and
Yeah,
that's how friendships are made.
you're damn right. It's what do they call it? Trauma bonding.
Yeah, they didn't start like that, but it'll end as
Yeah,
trauma
and it's
bonding.
always fun to watch someone else in some way like, "Oh, man, that's gonna be expensive. That sucks."
Oh, oh man, yeah. The worst is, oh, that's going to be really difficult to do,
Yeah.
and then you realize, yeah, I'm going to be the one
Yeah,
doing
you're
it.
the one there. Yeah, you don't wanna be the most experienced guy on the trip. You're like, "Oh, shit, now I just gotta."
Yeah, that's my problem now. I got to change
You're
that.
not
Oh,
responsible
that
for
leads
these
in.
idiots.
There you go. Pro tip: be the least experienced guy on the trip.
Well, yeah, or you may not get invited back. You're like, "This guy didn't know shit."
Probably will get it back, but yeah, good time. It's a good time to watch, though.
Yeah, damn right, man. Good shit, brother.
All right, hey, you have a great night,
You
man.
too, brother.
Yeah,
Appreciate it.
catch you later. All right,
Later.
peace.